Headlights. Before the session, I did a bunch of prep work because from the factory, I got the regular halogen headlights and I bought some LEDs on the side. The reason for that were because the LEDs from the factory are about $1,000 for the UK IVA compliance. I could just get LEDs here in the US for I think $30 each. So that saved a lot of money, but it means that I would have to install the LEDs myself. It wasn't too difficult. There are two screws at the bottom of the headlight bowl at the 5 and 7 o'clock position that you undo, and it just pops open. You can use a screwdriver or a pry tool to pop open. Um, there's another screw that's on the bowl, and that's for grounding purposes for the wires. So that won't help you open the bowl, but we will use that in during the session. The new LED headlights actually plug directly into the three prong that the existing headlights plug into, but the new LEDs do have two extra wires, a green and a yellow in my case. The green is for DRLs and the yellow is for turn signal. Now there's nothing to plug them into from the headlight bowl, but the old bulbs did have a parking light with two wires, one for ground and one for the to connect to the fuse box later. I've seen that people can wire the DRL as well as the turn signal, but I don't have an extra wire for the turn signal right now, and I've only connected the DRL, which is the green wire, to the parking light wire that was plugged into the old bulb. I'm not too sure exactly how to wire it yet, but that's for a different section. For the install onto the car, it's a little bit tricky because of how everything sort of has to be threaded through before you can fasten anything, and sort of the threading is a little bit difficult. I installed the headlight brackets ahead of time during the suspension install, as some other people had suggested, because it's kind of difficult. That was definitely a good choice. All I had to do was um, put the headlights into the mounting bracket and thread the wires through. That still turned out to be tricky because you have to mount the headlights before you thread the turn signal light. So you have to put the headlight bowl through the turn signal pod and then through the headlight bracket on the that's attached to the suspension. Um, Once you tighten the nut for that, you can rethread the turn signal light ground back up through the headlight bowl and attach it to the ground inside there. And for that reason, it's easy to leave the LEDs out uh, of the headlight bowl before you install them into the car. Um, Once you get that all tightened up, most of it is done. You just have to thread the wires back through the bracket. The wires go through, the bracket is hollow, so the wires go through the bracket and into the chassis of the car. I taped up the 4 or 5 wires into a bundle to thread them back and used pliers to pull them out of the hole on the other side. Wasn't too difficult. So the wires that are left sticking out are the red wire, which is for the DRLs. That's connected to the green wire on my LEDs. And then the 4 wires from the 3 prong, which are um, the 3 wires attached to the 3 prong, and then an extra ground wire, I believe. That's it for this session. It wasn't too difficult. It still ended up taking me about 2 hours.